Have you ever gone through an online checkout and somehow ended up paying way more than you expected? I have been there, and I feel like a fool when I do. I'm then a behavioral science consultant, which means that I spend my days analyzing how design impacts our decisions. One of the best examples is booking a Ryanair flight. This is the psychology of low-cost flying, and why book now may cost you more than you think. Here is the plan. We are flying from London to Berlin-Brandenburg Airport, and we are going to be spending New Year's Eve there. I am going with a friend of mine. Let's see this user journey together. All right. On page 1, I can see all the flights on the 29th of December. Now, the behavioral science that they are using here is around the scarcity principle, where they actually tell me that there are only 5 seats left at this price. I must act now, otherwise I will be needing to pay more in case I want to go with this flight. I will fly in the evening and I will be coming back, maybe not right after the New Year's Eve party, but maybe in the evening. Okay, now this is where the fun begins. A lot of different behavioral science principles being applied all at once. So we can choose between the basic option, we can choose the regular option, we can use the plus, and we can use the flexi plus. The first one is the decoy effect. What is a decoy? A decoy is something that distracts. So you are not able to weigh up all the options. And this is exactly what happens. I would argue that the Flexi Plus is a decoy. It's very expensive, so it's unlikely that a lot of people would click on it, but just being there, it makes the middle options and especially the Plus more appealing. In general, we have a tendency to prefer the middle options. So in this case, both regular and Plus are in this category because we don't want to sort of pay the least amount, maybe the quality is not going to be as good. We don't want to get the most expensive, why we want to pay too much. So the middle options are the ones that sort of have the right trade-off most of the time. Now, if Flexi Plus wasn't there, suddenly Plus would be the most expensive option. And in this case, I would expect that there would be even more people picking regular. So that's the decoy effect for you. The second one is saliency. And we can see saliency used in 2 instances here. First, by the use of the golden color. You can see that they apply it not only for the button, but also in the image they use this color. So in a way that stands out and grabs our attention. And that's sort of step number 1 towards getting us to consider this option. But the other one that is perhaps even more powerful is how they are selecting the regular option. They have this blue line around it. And even it's written on the top that this is the best for your trip to Berlin. Interesting. So by making it sort of stand out because it's different from the others, again, once more, we are evaluating this option even more than the rest. And then we also have some confirmation that this may be the best option for us. So it really increases the likelihood of somebody selecting it. And really from Ryanair's perspective, I think what they want us to do is to pick either regular or plus. And they do a good job making these options come out. The third principle I see is framing. And in this case, how they choose different words to represent the options, especially when it comes to basic and regular. The word regular is interesting because it implies that that is the option that people are regularly choosing, almost the default. So if you want to be like everybody else, you should choose the regular. On the other hand, basic, that sounds pretty bad. You don't want to be a basic kind of person, so you might not want to choose that. Again, another layer of persuasion to get you to move away from basic and get regular. So the final one is cognitive fluency. If I look at the different options, I can see that for the basic you would pay just under £200. And when it comes to the regular, it's £29 more, plus £39 more, and Flexi Plus £90 more. Now we all have busy lives, so without thinking, I may just choose one of these, and then in the end up paying more than I expect. And if you actually read the small print, we can see that it is the price per person on each flight, which means in our case, 2 people, 2 flights, it's actually 4 times the amount. But it's a bit sneaky because for the basic, you know the exact number, but for the rest, you are required to do a bit of mathematics to calculate how much you are going to be paying. I bet that if they would actually do the calculation for us and we would be able to see how much the different options would cost in total, there would be way more people choosing the basic. Okay, so what to do? Should I be basic? Should I get Flexi Plus? Maybe the regular? Let's say that I don't want to spend too much because we are already spending a lot in Berlin. So we are going to go with the basic. But then I get this pop-up saying regular is ideal for your trip. See, once more, they tell me all the things I'm missing out on if I choose the basic. And they even use the golden color to make the button pop out. So they are really trying hard to make me switch to regular. But no, I am going with the cheap option this time. Okay, a lot is going on here. And it seems that we already got pre-selected seats and we would be paying for them. Is there a way I can not pay for a seat? Okay, so these are the recommended. Then I also have the option to select my own seats, and yes, I would be able to select them. Okay, the problem with this is that I would be paying for them. So if we go up to the top, now I can see that there is an option 1, sit where you want, and there is an option 2, select seats later. While it's not 100% clear that this would give me a free option, this is the one that we will need to choose to avoid paying for a seat. And here there are 3 reasons why I shouldn't take this route. We might not be sitting together, seat availability may be an issue, and we might not be able to find such a good prices as we can do right now. But guess what? They will need to give me a seat, so I think we should be fine. So what do I do next? I can go select seats now, go back to the previous window, or I can click on the continue without seat. Interestingly, they made the continue without seat salient by using this golden color. Let's click on it. Okay, once more a pop-up trying to persuade me to get a seat. Now, what is very interesting, they're actually playing with our expectation, because previously we clicked on the salient golden colored button, and now the same button is actually leading you to select the seat, which means that we would go back to the same and do this loop once more. Or you might just conclude that there is no way to avoid getting a seat and get one. But instead, here, if you click on the continue with random allocation, then you might be able to go without paying for a seat. So let's try that. We have done it. I think we got away with not paying for a seat. Now we can choose a small bag, which is the free option, or we can choose the priority and cabin bags. Okay, so say that I only want an extra bag for myself, not for my friend. What can I do? I can click on add. And what happened that instead of £19, we actually ended up paying almost £40 because it is per person. Okay, so is it possible that we only want to pay for only one person? Let's see. Okay, I can see this drop-down arrow. And indeed, you can only choose it for one person. Okay, so let me deselect it for my friend. Okay, they also give me a warning that I may have to pay an extra fee if I end up being a bigger bag than a small. Very well. Now, this is a bit sneaky once more, because you are required to decipher how to get to this drop-down where I can choose it only for one person. And the same goes for coming back. So I will only choose it for myself. Okay. As I go forward, now I can see the check-in bags. Interestingly, here they decided not to do this thing, and I am able to select just for myself or just for my friend. But then I can also make it collapse and get it for both of us at the same time if I wanted. Interesting that they wouldn't do it here, but they did it up there. Right, so I think we have everything that we need. Let's go to the next page. All right, so we're almost there. Let's see what we can choose here. We can choose the fast track. So we can queue with everyone to the airport security, not the best experience, or we can do the fast track for only £5 per person. And here they are actually playing on scarcity once more. They sort of want to tap into people's need to feel exclusive, feel like VIPs. Just walk into the airport and you're almost through security. Do I want to pay £5 for that? Probably not, but that is a good option. And the final step is the insurance. Once more, they use the same principles here, making the middle one pop out, use different colors, so want to persuade people to choose that one. Okay, let's stop here. We could go on for a few more pages, but they pretty much use the same principles throughout. We lead busy lives. On average, we have over 30,000 decisions to make every single day. So we do not have the bandwidth or time or effort to go over a user journey with so much intention and sort of careful consideration as I did now. As a result, we often fall prey to these techniques and end up paying more, having more add-ons that we initially wanted. I hope you found this insightful, and if you want to know how our behavioral insights are shaping your everyday lives, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you have found any sneaky techniques in user journeys yourself, put it in the comment. I would love to check it out. Stay curious and keep making your choices count. See you in the next one.